Yeah, absolutely. The market's always going to respond in turn, and this is the thing is that a little bit of regulation is good. We don't want to, stifle innovation either,
Yeah.
there's definitely the danger of that happening, and I think the announcement from China the other day, people were kind of worried, oh my God, China's going to not allow ICOs at all anymore, and, all the fear and stuff. And it's like, no, guys, you kidding me? Come on. China wants to get paid, man. They love that money.
No, you know it. So you gave us some tips. So do you have what other tips do you have when it comes to looking at a new coin and being able to really do that diligence and do your own research? What else do you got for us, brother?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the things like, and actually the tools that you can use to do that research, I mean, hit up the YouTube, obviously, but you have to be so careful on YouTube because, and I saw you did a video on it recently, and, I get the emails all the time too, people that are always trying to, pay you to pump their stuff. And, and man, people are doing it. I see people doing it.
Yeah.
I know they're getting the money, and hey, look, that's their game, but that's dangerous for the noob investors who want to get out there and like, okay, what am I getting into? Oh, some YouTuber saying this is really awesome. You got to give people fair advice, and that's one perhaps big piece of advice is actually find people that don't just say that it's always going to be sunny, because it's not always going to be sunny. It's some things aren't
Except with
good.
Bitcoin. Except with Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'll accept Bitcoin. Accept Bitcoin. It's the thing. It's the monster. It's going to keep going.
And
It's
so would it be a fair assumption for me to make that you're not one person that is going to be swayed by people asking you to pump coins?
That's it. That's it. I mean, and this is the thing.
My man, guys, that's why we're interviewing CryptoLark, because I assumed positively that this was a guy who was not going to get paid to play. I love it, guys. I love it.
That's it. It's just not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. I don't know why people do it. They put the whole reputation online for what, a few bucks. It's just like, I love reviewing the ICOs. They've been fun. It's been fun reviewing ICOs. But I just every ICO video I do, it's like, guys, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not taking any money. You know, because
Well,
you can. There's a lot of money out there to
the
be
worst
taken.
part is if you pump it and you are paid, like I think the going rate is zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. But if you get paid 1 Bitcoin and you're wrong, you lose your credibility. I think there's too much risk, not only personally, but I think there's far too much risk, and you stated this very well. I think there's just way too much risk for the newbies who are just getting into this, and they're like, oh, well, you know what? My friend told me about OMG the other day. I saw this video by this guy, and it looked fantastic. It looked like I should get it, but then it has a little sponsor link, or if it's sometimes even worse, they don't even tell you that they've been sponsored,
Yeah,
right?
it's one thing when they say they've been sponsored. I say, okay, well, that's fine. I know you've been sponsored. Not many people do that, and respect to the guys who do. That's cool. I dig that game. If you want to say, okay, I'm doing a sponsored video, this is a sponsored video, that's fine. Everyone understands. But it's like when you read the newspaper and like there's native advertising. It looks like news, but it's not really news. It's paid for.
For sure, for
So
sure. So you had a couple tips. I keep cutting you off because I have these great ideas
that's
that
all right.
come in. But there was another thing. You had a third lesson, is that right, or a third
Yeah,
point that you
absolutely,
learned?
absolutely. A third lesson, and that's I know it's one that people get told all the time in the crypto sphere, but it's to diversify. I mean, yeah, have a nice big holding of Bitcoin. That's the primary coin. That's in a way, it's kind of what the alt game's all about. Is actually letting your coins go up in value so you can exchange it for more Bitcoin later.
My man,
But
my man.
but in that altcoin portfolio diversify. I see so many people are like, I'm going all in 10K on Neo. Like, well, okay, but like we're now Neo's at $35 now, dude. Like, it's like damn. And so this is the thing. But you're not all in. You've got plenty of other stuff, right? This is
That's
the
true.
thing.
That's true. I'm well
This is the thing. It's like
diversified.
that's it. That you're well diversified. So it's one thing to go in 10K on Neo when you've already got, okay, I got 10K in Stratus and 10K in Ether or whatever, right? Yeah, great, rock and roll. But like when I'm just investing in this one coin and that's it. Like no, guys, it sounds so simple, but you gotta diversify.
So diversification, doing your own research, digging in, and not just listening to YouTubers, which seems counterintuitive since both of us are YouTubers. But
Yeah.
I think that's a real honest assessment, though. It's like, hey, you can listen to me, and you can listen to CryptoLark, and you can listen to Bitesizebitcoin. But please, when we say do your research, it's get on that Google, go. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I can't tell you how many people, when I say go read the white paper, and they ask questions, especially in the forums and the pub, and it is clear that they have not yet
They've not
read
read
the
the white
white
paper.
paper. It's like if you read the white paper, you would fundamentally know there's a technical flaw or a fundamental flaw with their thinking or something like that. And so, how are you? Because I think you're interacting with a lot of people now, even more than before. How are
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
helping quell the FOMO, and how are you helping quell the FUD to your particular audience? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always recommending people I had this guy just ask like saw the comment like 20, 30 minutes ago. It was something like, I got 50K, what should I do? And it's like, well, go do your research.
yeah, yeah,
Diversify.
yeah. Don't put it on me, because if you put it on me and you lose it all, bro, I'm gonna be really unhappy with myself and you. It's a foolish
That's
decision.
it. That's it, and this is what I'm always telling people, just be patient, and I say it in a lot of my videos, and I just did a video yesterday on Litecoin. And I saw some YouTubers last month. Oh, I'm selling my Litecoin. It's not exploding. Everything else is like, no,
No.
just be patient. Just be patient. Everything will come in its time. If you believe in the project, then you shouldn't be. You're never worried. This is the thing. If you're investing in some kind of garbage, then you're like, oh my god. Yeah, but
That's
that's it.
that chain coin though, guys. That chain coin. So what do you think? Let's pivot a little bit. We're talking about these new coins, and we're talking about this stuff coming out. What do you think, if you have an opinion? What do you think are some of the most undervalued coins that have come out as of recent? I'm curious.
Recent coins that have come out. Ooh,
Un,
that's a
un,
tough one.
not maybe not recent,
Yeah,
but undervalued coins. Let's leave it there. We'll leave it.
undervalued coins.
Yeah, undervalued coins.
Undervalued coins. A few that I've been looking at recently. One that's probably still quite undervalued is like Pivex, for example. Now it's seen a big jump recently, but I could definitely see a lot more value for that to go. And one of the ones I know it's a big market cap coin, but like Nem's a great project. I know I'm gonna talk about it all the time, but seriously, it's not.
I've seen you
Yeah.
talk about Nem. I've seen you talk about Nem. I had a position in Nem, and then I took it out, and I was like, I just don't know long term. Maybe you know something different than I do. What would you say is your long term perspectives on Nem?
Long term, I think I was saying like, well, maybe what if it gets to the same level as like Ethereum in sort of like a year or two, and I look at the whole market as a whole, and if the market goes up, to the $1 trillion mark, which it's going to at some point,
It's gonna happen.
that's going to happen, right? So we'll see, what a 10, 20 times increase in some of the top coins, potentially,
I think that's fair. I think that's
yeah.
fair. What is your take on this ICO mania that's going on? I mean, you said that you kind of started your YouTube channel at kind of like the height of the heat of the summer, when it was all boiling over, which is a really interesting time to start a YouTube channel. I'm sure, like
It was.
your first video, you're like, hey, welcome. Well, I'm just started a YouTube channel, and all your comments are like, what about OMG? What about Neo? What about AntShares rebranding? What about Pivex? You're like, I don't even know what's going on, guys. What's going on?
Absolutely. No, the ICO mania is crazy. And it's, like I know there's been a lot of, just a lot of, I don't know, fear and stuff about the regulations that have been happening around the ICOs in China, and Singapore is regulating, and, the US is regulating. But it kind of needs to happen. The whole cryptocurrency space has been way too unregulated for way, way too long. And the fact that there is all these ICOs where they just basically scams,
Yeah. Well,
there's so many of them,
I think it's the natural evolution of a new nascent market like cryptocurrency.
Absolutely.
Is that in the beginning it really, I mean, it still is. I mean, I don't think we have even moved closely out, away from the wild wild west. We're still in the wild wild west. But I think there needs to be some types of constraints. I think there needs to be some type of regulation to rein in a little bit. And what I find, and I'd love for your opinion on this, whether you agree with me or not. But I think what regulation really does is it raises the bar of ethics, and it raises the bar of diligence, and it raises the bar of quality. What I mean by that, when I say that, is that if you can no longer just throw a coin out there, a fork off a Litecoin or a fork off of whatever, and just say, yo, this is the next big, this is the next big thing. You actually have to consider, okay, if I do try to do this and scam people, now that there's regulations, there's a higher chance that I'm going to get screwed. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is the thing, is that these companies aren't being forced to do that right now. And so They put something out. They make a white paper where they say you're going to have 5,000% returns in the next 2 years. Okay, great.
Okay, it could happen, I guess.
Yeah, it could happen, right? But it looks great for for investors who don't do their homework. But this is the thing, is that it's dangerous for people. And you're right, it's going to make actually the whole thing better. There will be the projects that come out will be better as a result. The people that actually get through that process will have better things to deliver to the public,
Yeah,
which is just great for investors and people who make money. So.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And I think that really is something that's needed in the cryptocurrency market, are these constraints to say, look, all right, all right, all right. We can't get rid of you, Bitcoin. So how do we try to make this a better experience for the overall community and the overall economy? Part of that is, and it's weird to say it this way, but part of that is bringing in some regulation to really bring that wall up, that bar of entry, to say, hey, if you really want to make a legitimate coin that's worth investing in, if you really want to make a legitimate coin that actually has a problem that you're actually solving, then you really have to do X, Y, and Z to make it viable. And I think that's something that is part and parcel with the overall maturity of this cryptocurrency market. And we're going to continue to see it pivot. We're going to continue to see it change as the market changes and the market shifts. But I think this is overall a great thing. And it's weird to say that. It's like, wait. You think it's a great thing that governments are stepping in? Well, kind of, because there's so many scammy coins out there.
That's it. That's it. And, this is interesting. There might be a slight pivot to our next conversation a little bit. I don't want to get away from ICOs quite yet, but actually, we've seen this massive increase in the privacy coins.
Oh, yeah.
And that, this is it. That's it. I mean, people are worried about this government regulation. I mean, Uncle Sam's going to be taxing my Bitcoin, or Uncle Bill here in New Zealand, whatever, and it's and people are worried about that. People want to have their assets hidden in a way that they're not immediately transparent for the government, for example. And these regulations, I think, actually push people again. That's that sort of news fear hype, and actually pushes them towards these coins more.
Well, I think it's fantastic, and as a free market capitalist, I think that it goes both ways. Is that the more if a little bit of regulation is great, I'm okay with that. As they continue to add pressure, the free market's going to say, "Oh, I don't like this anymore." And what's great about the free market, as the regulations start pushing and pushing, the free market's going to be like, "Yo, we can circumvent this. We can figure out how to get around this." And I think that pushes innovation. It's a weird way of thinking about it that way, but when people put so much energy, so much time, and so much, especially money, into something that they want to see grow, when you start constraining them, just like we see in fiat currencies, when they start constraining them, taking control of it, people start saying, okay, I got to put my innovative hat on. How can we go around this now? How can we do this in a way where we can actually have the value we want, be able to transact the way we want, but also circumvent some of the regulatory considerations at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. The market's always going to respond in turn, and this is the thing, is that a little bit of regulation is good. We don't want to, stifle innovation either, There's definitely the danger of that happening, and I think the announcement from China the other day, people were kind of worried, oh my God, China's going to not allow ICOs at all anymore, and, all the fear and stuff. And it's like, no, guys, are you kidding me? Come on, China wants to get paid, man. They love that money.
Yo, you know it, brother. Did you see my 1 hour stream of the history of ant shares? Did you see that? I don't know if you saw it.
No, I didn't. I haven't had a chance, Ben.
Oh, it's okay. There was so much fear and FOMO and FUD going on around the Chinese regulations that I spent an entire hour stream going back. So I spent about 2 hours going back through about 20,000 plus bookmarks that I've bookmarked over the many years that I've done this. And I went back in history. I said, guys, this is what happened in 2016. This is what happened in 2015 with ant shares. And it was called ant shares at the time. So this is what happened in 2016 with ant shares. This is how it's growing. This is what Da Hongfei is doing. This is how it's connecting and creating a larger ecosystem. These are some of the other players that are going to be engaging with. We have to remember, and I think this is a kind of a salient point here, is that we have to remember that the cryptocurrency market moves so daggone fast.
That's it. It's like a breakneck speed, and you wake up one day and there's, 5 new coins on the, like, where'd this new, like this, I saw this one the other day, it was like 8 share or something. Like, where'd this come from? Where's this coin? What's going on here?
I know.
How are you at number 11 now?
I know, and people are like, yo, the regulations and NEO going down. It's like, guys, NEO was like literally $5 20 days ago. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
worrying about it going from 50 to 30. I mean, it was $5 20 days ago. Where were you
That's
guys
it.
then? Where were you guys then? You should have been yelling. You should have been pissed off then. You're pissed off because you got 4x gains right now from $5 to 20. What's wrong with you, bro? So
The problem is most of those guys didn't buy it at $5, you know.
that could be true. That could be true. That could be true.
I
So
bought it at 49. It's gonna go. Oh my God, it's at 30 now.
it's okay.
I like Neo, man. It's a great coin, man. I'm definitely, I'm holding on mine till 200. That's the
Oh,
number I got on my wall.
that's my man, guys. That's my man, Crypto Lark. Yo, and people accuse me of pumping Neo. I I've obviously invested. It's several stages along the way, but there's just so much promise I see coming out of China. And I think you said it really well. China wants to get paid. The government
That's
wants to
it.
get paid. Ain't nobody doing this for free, guys. Right? And I think China has the right attitude. I think the people are ready for this type of financial revolution of sorts, and it's just a matter of time before they really open the gates and start humming, guys. I mean, I always remind, and I'm sure you're well aware of this as well. But I mean, less than a year ago, Ethereum was at like $10, $12. People tend
I
to
know.
forget that literally like 10 months ago Ethereum was at $12, and they're saying Neo is at $30. Oh, the gates of hell are opening. Everything's done. Actually, speaking of gates of hell opening, did you read that news about the Ghost Week or something like that in
Oh
Asia?
yeah. It's crazy.
I don't understand people sometimes. So we
Uh,
were talking about privacy coins, and you brought up Pivx earlier. I think what's great about these types of interviews is it gives us an opportunity to really get a glimpse into another world. A lot of my viewers come from the U.S. and come from Europe, and I've got a growing contingency out in Asia. But to be frank, I don't think there's a whole lot of people who understand the context of New Zealand. So tell us a little bit about if whatever you can
yeah.
muster and whatever you can think about. What does the overall governmental structure look like? Is it highly regulated? Is there a lot of politicking? What does it look like from a technology side? Give us some context around New Zealand and technology
Yeah.
and crypto. What is in government? Let's
Absolutely.
let's go big ball here.
Absolutely. So a few different things. One, New Zealand is, it's a big tech place. We're a service industry oriented country, and so there's a lot of tech innovation here. I don't know if do you know Zero, the accounting software? You ever heard
No,
of that?
no.
It's a really really big accounting software. Anyway, it was made in New Zealand, and a lot of other great projects made here too. There's a lot of innovation that happens in New Zealand. It's been rated as the world's least corrupt country, and as the
Yo,
best country in the world to do business in.
those hobbits, guys. Those hobbits.
Yeah, the easiest country in the world to start a business in as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell me more about that. What is it because they don't have a lot of regulation, or is it because? Well, I don't know. I don't want to make any
it's
assumptions.
it's it's uh it's incredibly business friendly regulation. There is a decent amount of regulation in the industry. In any industry, they do look at protecting consumers and different things like this. But it's a very honest politics here in New Zealand.
Interesting.
We're having an election soon in New Zealand, and they had their first leaders debate the other night, and it's just night and day between what you guys get over in the States.
We
Here are the
don't
two
we,
people.
we don't do we don't do politics. It's just mudslinging. That's all we
Yeah,
do.
that's it. Here this is it. In the US it's just all this BS, and here is actually just two people just talking about nuances of policies, and like we both kind of want this best thing for the country, but here are the nuances on our policies, and real honest sort of discussion, debate, and politics is approachable in New Zealand, which is great. I've met dozens of members of parliament. They're not like these gods that you'll never see. I've seen the prime minister
Wow.
plenty of times before, and it's not, and that I know it's a small country and it's a bit different in that respect, but because of that, business in New Zealand is accessible. It is a country that wants to innovate, and they're always pushing, basically, from the governmental perspective, innovation and development and investment. So
Interesting. Interesting.
now,
What
now the
what's
crypt. Go ahead.
What's your biggest export? Are you guys an exporting country? I'm
Huge
sorry, I'm
exporting country.
really ignorant about New Zealand. I apologize.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, huge exporting country. Some of the biggest exports are, agricultural products. So
Like cheese.
whether like cheese, for example. So it's actually New Zealand is the world's biggest dairy producer.
Really?
Produces more butter and cheese than the United States, for example.
Yo, hey, can you send me cheese? Is that possible? Is it able to be
I don't
stored?
know. I don't know.
Because I will eat your cheese live on stream if you send me your cheese. I'll say, guys, this is right here, straight from New Zealand, Crypto Lark. Cheese.
I might make a note about that. I'm gonna look into that. I have no idea
What's
about
your cheese
exporting
company
it.
called? I want to pump it.
It's called Terra. Terra,
Terra.
T-E-R-A, like Earth in Latin.
Oh, from the earth. All natural.
That's it.
Terra.
That's it.
Yo, guys, you heard it here first. You heard it here first, guys. Terra is a multi-million-dollar company in the making. In the making.
I should do an ICO.
Yo, that's my man. Yo, what a yo, guys, you can't manufacture these conversations. This is it, guys. This is real innovation happening in real time. We're going from crypto to real world cheese making to ICO and the cheese. And actually, that's a pretty good name, Terra. I mean, I could dig Terra.io. I can see myself going to Terra.io and they say, what's this ICO? Oh, they're making cheese, guys. They're making cheese. I'd invest. I'd throw you a couple Ethereum. You should probably build it on Neo, though.
That's it. Well, as actually there's a new ICO coming out called Comsa.
Comsa.
And have you seen this one yet?
I have not.
It's what was it? It's a Japanese ICO. They're doing a blockchain. So they're using the NEM blockchain and the Ethereum blockchain both. And their idea is they want to take real world assets and turn them into, tokens basically. So like my company would be something they would do. They would, tokenize my company for people who want to invest in it.
Really? So are they like would it be like a clearinghouse for smaller companies of sorts to be able to invest in them? Is that what it is? It's an investment vehicle mechanism?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
That's it. Have a look at it. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's called CAMSA?
COMSA, Comsa.
Comsa. I mean, these coins come out every day. I mean, people give me crap because they're like, "Have you heard of this?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Where have you been?" It's like, "When did it come out?" "Oh, it came out 3 days ago." It's like, guys, ain't nobody got time for all this, guys. I can't.
We've got this is like the list of coins I'm going to be reviewing. I've had requests on all those. So
yo, screenshot, guys, screenshot. You get the inside scoop. Screenshot that. Go back 5 seconds. Screenshot.
That's
you guys
it.
will have the inside scoop on what Crypto Lark is talking about. So I want to be respectful of your time. We're going to be moving towards an hour, so we're certainly going to be chunking this up into 2 episodes. Super excited about that.
rock and roll.
But last thing. What are some of the most exciting projects that you think are coming out in the near future? And this isn't, guys, this isn't financial advice. This is one man's opinion to another man's opinion. We're just having a conversation, and fortunately, we are recording it, which means you guys get to hear in on it. So Crypto Lark, what are some of the really cool projects that maybe have already come out or have yet to come out?
Or are coming soon.
Yeah, are coming soon that you think are worth looking at. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so 2 ICOs that personally I'm going to be investing in are Comsa when it comes out, and that's in start of October.
There's some self-interest there, though, guys. He's looking to get his product tokenized, guys.
That's it. I got to pump that NEM too. This is the thing.
I love it, bro.
I alone will change the price in M. No, and
you could
and
the way that you're growing, brother.
You never know. And Red Pulse actually.
Oh.
So that's what I'm looking at getting into as well. So
Red Pulse. Red Pulse. So Comsa and Red. Well, certainly I've looked at Red Pulse, but Comsa is a new coin for me here. Well, man, it has been great speaking with you, Crypto Lark. And if I may create an assumption here, presumption, I think we're going to be talking again. This has been so much fun just to hang out with you and talk with you.
Oh man, awesome, absolutely. It's great, bouncing ideas back and forth, man, and just having that chat. It's awesome, absolutely. It's been Bitesize Bitcoin, man. It's been an absolute privilege.
Well, thank you so much, guys. So last but not least, For everyone out there, Crypto Lark, how can we find you? Let us know. Drop all your links. What's up? How do we get in contact with you? How do we find you? How do we subscribe to you? Give us everything. Let's make sure that the whole world knows how to get seeing your
That's
stuff.
it. That's it, man. Hit me up on YouTube. That's the best place, and I've got you guys can always email me if you want, thecryptolark@gmail.com. I can try and answer any questions you guys have over there. A lot of people email me asking just for simple advice, and I'm happy if I got the time and it's a simple question. I usually get back to you guys. So,
Awesome.
hit me up. It's all about the community, man. Just try and help people, and get involved.
And that is one of the things that I have very much appreciated from the kind of the meta of how you do your YouTube. You're so inviting. To be frank, you're probably even more inviting than I am, because I start my streams with like crazy music. So people are like, "Well, yo, what is this guy? He must be crazy, guys. This heavy metal." I have guys like join me for the first time. They're like, "Is this guy like worshiping Satan with this rock and roll?" No, guys. No, guys. I was
Worshiping the Doge, man.
So you're just so inviting. You're so humble. You're great on camera, which makes it easy on the eyes, and you're a great communicator. So guys out there in the crypto nation, in the crypto world, make sure that you subscribe to my man Crypto Lark. Crypto Lark, it has been an absolute blessing to speak with you, and I look forward to speaking with you again, brother.
Absolutely, man. It's been absolutely awesome. Thanks so much for giving me your time, and we'll do this again in the future.
All right, guys.
Nope.